Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Tonight is December 1st, doing a special nighttime video here, and I will also do a video tomorrow morning, a regularly scheduled briefing. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We've got the infrared satellite imagery, BC, Washington, Oregon storm system moving down out of the Gulf of Alaska towards Pacific Northwest. Going to bring some precipitation, especially to the Olympic Mountains here, maybe Kitsap Peninsula. The storm will pivot through Oregon as we go through the weekend here. We'll take a look at those details coming up here. You can see the strong front driving down through California as we speak, kicking off through Idaho and Montana as well. Now taking a look here, you can see the winter weather advisory for the Kitsap Peninsula. Winter storm warnings. You can see rest of Washington, Oregon right now getting a break. Still some winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings through Idaho and Montana as this system kicks off to the east. Winter storm warnings down through the Sierras continue. Taking a look here, National Weather Service Seattle, big snowfalls for the Olympic Mountains here. And you can see that enhanced snowfall across from the Kitsap Peninsula there. Models backing off on this system a little bit, keeping this precipitation off to the west. We'll take a look at some of what they're saying coming up shortly. Bremerton generally less than an inch, same with the Seattle Metro, Everett, Mount Vernon, Bellingham, Tacoma, Olympia. Not expecting that much snowfall out of this event. You can see the Cascades getting maybe a few inches here, but we'll check what the models have to say about that also coming up here. Now taking a look at Spokane, check out some of these temperatures overnight into tomorrow morning. Plain, Wenatchee, Ellensburg, Moses Lake, all in the single digits. Ritzville, Spokane, same. Wilbur, 0. Some below 0 temperatures coming up here. Look at Omak at 1 degree here. Idaho, Panhandle, pretty chilly. Northwest Montana as well. Wind chill readings could be 5 to 10 degrees colder than these already frigid temperatures over there. So heads up if you are east of the Cascades tonight and tomorrow morning. Now taking a look here, the European. This is 18Z run. There goes the system moving down towards the Washington coast. You can see that precipitation impacting some of the Seattle Metro here, but some of this is going to be falling as rain, or maybe a rain-snow mix, or maybe some slight accumulations here probably for the Seattle Metro. As you can see, this storm system skirt the coastline, then eventually move through Oregon here, bring some precipitation back up across southern Washington as well. So we're probably going to get some snow for the higher terrain of Oregon back into the southern Cascades. Some of this is even showing up on the European as some lowland snowfall as we go on in through Sunday here. We'll take a look at that briefly as well here, and we'll take a better look at that tomorrow morning when some more model runs come in. But you can see some additional precipitation headed off for eastern Oregon, Idaho, Montana, on in through Sunday night into Monday morning as well. And there's also going to be yet another frontal system driving down through California here as we go on in through Sunday as well. Now, taking a look here, this is the European. So about right here is the peak snowfall, I think. You can see it's still showing some good snowfall for the northern Cascades. Seattle about an inch. Everett, inch and a half there. Tacoma getting a little bit. But you can see the Kitsap Peninsula is going to be favored as you go out here. You can see some 6-inch totals here along Highway 101, maybe even a little bit higher locally. Big snows to the Olympic Mountains here too. Highway 12 could get a couple inches of snow as well between Olympia and Aberdeen and Hoquiam out there as well. So that could be a problem as you're going back and forth between the coastal area and I-5. Now taking a look here, this is the HER 3KM. You can see not much snow around just for the North Cascades here. Maybe a little skiff through southwest BC here. Olympic Peninsula included in that right there. Big snowfalls for the Olympic Mountains coming up here. But the HER is kind of sparse on the snowfall here coming up through Saturday morning. This is looking at the NAM. Total snow Kuchera. You can see southwest BC actually getting a few inches there just north of Bellingham. North Cascades, Olympic Peninsula, still highlighted there, still to get that snowfall. Highway 101 out there. And then you can see the big snows for the Olympic Mountains there as well. Now taking a look here, this is hot off the press, is the UW 4-kilometer run. Let's put this into motion here. And you can see these huge totals for some of the areas of the Kitsap Peninsula here along Highway 101 again, Olympic Mountains. But the model's really backed off. The previous run had some pretty good precipitation totals across the Cascades as well, and even better totals across Seattle than what's showing on this run also. So maybe a little bit making its way across the Puget Sound, but not much. Port Townsend area could get some snowfall out of this as well. And you can see this would favor that Highway 12, the higher terrain there, moving back and forth between I-5 and the coastal range. Now taking a look at what's going on here. So this is the European 100-meter wind speeds here. And tomorrow, the storm system makes its way down the coastline. Some southeast winds going on. Then as we get into Friday afternoon, we bring the east wind across the area here. And this east wind banks up against the Olympic Mountains. It could trap cold air across Kitsap Peninsula here up towards Port Townsend on some of these setups here. And then it'll be a little bit closer to the low pressure system. So precipitation rates will be a bit more favorable. But this low level dry flow can help dry out the atmosphere here. Then you get some of that evaporative cooling there with the better precip rates and get some substantial snowfalls out on the Kitsap Peninsula. But even at this point, this is not a sure bet. If this storm trends a little bit further west, it could take precipitation amounts away from the Kitsap Peninsula as well. Now, we'll put this in motion a little bit more. Storm system moves down off the Oregon coast. Then it's going to pivot back through Oregon here as we go through Sunday night and Monday. It doesn't show up that well here. But now taking a look, we're going to look into the temperatures overnight tonight for Western Washington really quickly here. So this is Thursday night. Here we go into Friday morning, and you can see some of these temperatures for Seattle at about, 1 a.m. Look, some of these temperatures into the 20s here. Everett maybe down into the upper teens. Abbotsford, Southwest BC here, Longview, Portland with the freeze as well, Hoquiam, and of course those frigid temperatures as you get east of the Cascades also. Now, taking a look here, you can see this is Highway 101 through Washington. You can see Shelton is down here, probably going to be right on the edge of some of that heavier snow if this does materialize for this area of the Kitsap Peninsula. But you see Crosby, Seaback out here could get some good snowfalls. Let's see what else is out here. Hoodsport, Potlatch, Skokomish is out here as well. So yeah, this is the area we're looking at. The European is bringing the snowfall a little bit further up north towards Discovery Bay as well. But the Seattle Metro not looking as good as it was earlier today as far as snowfall is concerned. Now let's take a look here at the GFS. This is hot off the press as well. This is going to be pretty similar probably to the UW GFS. It does show a little bit more precip getting off into the North Cascades there, and maybe a little bit more for the Seattle Metro as well. But you can clearly see the storm offshore here, pivots off the coastline here, moves across Oregon, does not bring the precipitation as far north. I think the European 18Z brought it back towards the Seattle Metro. GFS keeps it a bit further south in this run here. Looking out towards Fantasyland a little bit here to Tuesday. Could maybe get some light snow around the lowlands here. It doesn't look too dynamic though. Next system comes down. Look at this. Bring some snowfall on in through later next week across Pacific Northwest. So it looks like we're going to stay fairly active here. We'll break those systems down in much better detail as we get closer to it and check this out all the way out to 234 hours, 231 hours out here. Some snowfall showing up in the lowlands here. Always a fantasy run here involved with the GFS though, but still some storm systems moving through the area here. We'll continue to track those, especially as we go on in through tomorrow morning. I'll take a closer look at things there. Now this is looking at the GFS hot off the presses here. Now this is that polar lobe that's been impacting us is now moving east. There goes our next system there that we're talking about now. Then it pivots through Oregon here, maybe brings some back towards southern Washington. So probably some snows coming for the higher terrain of Oregon this weekend as the storm moves through here. This polar lobe tries to clip us here, but mainly stays east. Then you can see the GFS dropping down some more action as we go on in through later next week here. And then opening up another polar lobe right across Pacific Northwest here. That would be kind of fun as well as we went into the following week. But this is 10 days out, pure fantasy. I just wanted to show you guys since it's coming hot off the presses here. Looks like we're going to remain active here across Pacific Northwest. More on that tomorrow morning. So yeah, here goes our system down here. These kind of trend a little bit west here in my experience. So, and that's kind of what's happening in the model runs here. So the Olympic Mountains and the Kitsap Peninsula still favored right now, and maybe we'll get a surprise and get a little bit more snow than forecast out towards the Seattle Metro here, but nothing really expected out of this system for the Willamette Valley yet. Once it pivots back through here, it could bring some light snow up through portions of western Oregon, but probably not much in the way of accumulation down to the valley floors. Better chances, of course, Cascades and places onto the east as the storm system moves through. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys that quick update tonight. I'll do a full briefing tomorrow morning as well, so don't worry about that. And yeah, I may go out and do some drone shots tomorrow as well. If we clear out a little bit, maybe I'll drive over the mountains into eastern Washington, get some of that nice snow-covered ground out there as well. So anyways, hope you guys are having a good night. I hope I get this video out before you guys hit the sack tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and end it now, and I will get this video out. Now I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning with another briefing. So I hope you guys are having a good night.